This is how I made the vocal chain for old scars. When I'm recording my vocals, I am basically taking the track that I made and bringing it into a brand new project. For some reason, I don't know how other artists do it, but they're able to record all in one project. I can't do that. So what I do here is I'll bring all my mumbles and everything in there, drag it in, and then I'll start recording. I record in stacked layers, but because this track was very simple, I only have like 4 stacks. It's nothing crazy. And then I'll do the post-processing back in the beat sometimes, which I did with this song. So here we can see this is the main vocal right here. Yeah, waves or crispy tune, those crispy tune or whatever it's called, those are really good. I got to use auto-tune for this project because I bought it a long time ago, and that's just what I use. But I think that for the price, the entry price, Waves has some really good ones, and crispy tune. Look up crispy tune. I'll have it pop up on the screen. You gotta have pitch correct. If you don't need it, that's cool, but I think I need it because I'm not a singer. So running you through the main vocal chain, you want to cut out low end with a EQ, little auto boy. You want to find the formant. I use a lower formant. Sometimes I push a drive up depending on the track, but I don't think that's something that is really required. You don't really need to push the drive up on the track. That's just my preference. And I have the mix all the way up. I don't mess with the pitch. And yeah, as you can see, it's default settings. We're not doing anything crazy there. I have reverb and a delay on my track. I do push the reverb all the way up on that, but that's because of the aesthetic of the song. I wouldn't normally do that. And I make it a rule that I never put reverb directly on my track. I make sure that that's a send and that my delays are sends. So if I'm mixing down the track, I can like also bounce the delays and everything, and it makes it easier to move around. All right, so I did some vocal stacks here. It's the same idea, a bit of EQ, a bit of delay. I know I just said the thing about delay. Trust me, this is not real delay. This is like house mode, right? But I don't think I'm using it on any of these tracks. It's just there because I experiment. So let's go back up here. This is like the bus mix. I've got Soothe on here just to get out any harshness in my vocals. And then some compressors. Like, some people will say this is overkill. You can listen to the track and make a decision for yourself and tell me what I could have done better in the comments. I've got an inflator on here where I just, it's gonna take a while to load up. I'm gonna bring you through all of the plugins I'm using. That way, no one can say I'm gatekeeping anything. So I'm using Oxford Inflator to just, increase the not the volume, but like how hair has volume. It's kind of, I see it as that way, like increase the body of the vocal. That's how I use that anyway. Then I've got a little bit of compression there with Arvox. Some more compression here. I put this on everything, on all of my vocals or vocals that I am mixing for other people. I'm always using CLA vocals. Then we've got some vocal EQ, which I don't think is actually working anymore. Yeah, see, I don't use the vocal EQ. I don't even know why it's there. I can turn that off. And then I've got I'm just pushing up the high end a little bit and cutting out a bunch of the noise that I don't need here. Once again, personal preference, not a scientific method. I've got some de-essing going on just around the 9 to 11 kilohertz, that's where it was a bit sharp, because bear in mind, I'm recording songs on a podcast mic, this very mic I'm using right now, and I have no sound treatment, so we'll get into that shortly. I'm just reducing some of the gain that was put in by all the compression, and then I've got one of my favorite plugins, and it just puts a little bit of air. It's the API 550A. We're just pumping a little air into the vocals, and that's it really. So that's literally all we're doing on the vocals for now. So now I'm gonna load up the actual track where the beat was made, and I'm gonna show you how I import the vocals back into the beat And the reason I do that is for just mixing purposes, really. It's how I use soothe with vocals, and you can do it without all of that stuff. But for me, I like to do it here. It's just, if someone has a better idea, definitely let me know in the comments, because you know, I'm still learning every day as well. So once the vocals are grouped and imported, I'll bring them back into the project, and I will basically do just a tiny bit of mixing. And the reason is because I need to get the levels right with the beat. So as you can see here, I've like reduced the level by -2. And the thing that I wouldn't do again, one thing I wouldn't do again is I grouped my main vocals with my backing vocals, and I think I should have imported them separately, but yeah, we live and we learn. So what have we got going on here? Well, it's pretty simple, really. Remember how I told you that I don't have any sound treatment? All I do is I just throw on Pro G. Pro G is really good at cutting out background noise. I use it all the time. It's the first thing that goes on. Usually in pre-record I do it, but you know, do it where you want. I think it does the same job. Then I just cut out some more low end. And remember, you do not need to, I'm just showing you my vocal chain for this track. This is not a tutorial on how to record vocals. I just cut out this much because it was what was needed for this track specifically. You won't hear that this much is cut out, trust me. After that, we have a DSR. Why does it always do this? You got a DSR. I'm just DSing some higher frequencies, you know, making sure everything sounds nice. And then I've got soothe. Once again, just taking out some vocal harshness and, you know, making sure everything sounds cool, you know, and chill. I'm doing the same thing, except for I have some parts where I have Toop come in for a little bit, you know, just for a little bit. It's been automated. I do not know why knock is here. I think I was going to saturate something, but then I think I went against it. You know, you try things. Once again, like EFX Motions, didn't use it in the end. I've got some call and response going on here. I'm using delay. I love this plugin. It's one of my favorite plugins. As you can see, it's all tweaked by me. I should probably save this actually. Let me save it right now. Old scars. That way, if I ever want that old scar sound again, boom, it's in here, you know. Always save stuff that you make. I always put compressors on my delays. If anyone cared to know, I just sidechain it to the vocal. So if the vocal is coming through, it pushes the delay down so you can't hear it. And then when the vocal disappears, the delay pumps out. Going back to when I was talking about why I bring my vocals in here, it's for this trick that I learned from another artist, where basically I sidechain the vocals to a part of the track, like maybe the main synth for this track. I'll sidechain it to that and just make sure everything's cool. Only a little bit, by the way. I do that so that the vocals fit into the track better. So as you can see here, the name of my vocal, and I do that because it allows the vocals to feel part of the mix. But I don't do it to the whole track. I only do it to like a synth or a main pad or something like that. Like I've got my moody pad. It's the main sound for the track, part of my my beat pack that's coming out soon. But yeah, I sidechain against that, and it just I'll show you an example. You don't have to do that though. That's just a me thing. I think it sounds really good, and I just realized now whilst testing this that my verse is not, it's not sidechained because I have it on a different channel. So anyway, yeah, that's the vocal chain for Old Scars. If you want to know how I made the beat, let me know. I'll hook you up with a video. If you want to support the channel, a free way to do that is just to hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, we'll keep coming up with more videos. We out!